That was awkward.
Yes, it was.
What's good, everybody? This is your boy Jagging Off the Go to Jags YouTube. 904 to Bowl City, Duval. We in the fucking building yet again. Alright, so I know I'm a little late to this party, but I was actually trying to wait for something to materialize with it, but nothing has. So I guess I'm going to give my thoughts on it now. And that, of course, is the latest surprising piece of news about Jadeveon Clowney having a visit with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, first off, I'm going to start with how I feel about this guy personally. Personally, I don't hate him. I don't really like him, though, but, like, he hasn't done anything really egregious for him to ever piss me off. So, I'm okay, and I think he's a decent player. I don't think he's as good as people hype him up to be. But that being said, what kind of role would he be in? And hopefully not for a lot of money. He did have his best seasons. He's gotten 9 sacks. I think he did it twice with Houston, and he did it once in Cleveland next to Myles Garrett. He is 30 years old now, but that's not too bad. Personally, we don't need him to get 9 to 10. We don't need him to be a double-digit sack guy like everybody tries to make him out to be. Remember, Trashville did this same thing 3 years ago and tried to make him, basically, their main pass rusher and he lasted 8 games and got no sacks. And mind you, this was a year that he played the Jacksonville Jaguars twice. In 2020, this was the year that, we sucked so bad that we drafted Trevor Lawrence. We went 1-15 that year, and our offensive line was completely fucked that year. He couldn't get a sack against that team. But I digress. Like I said, he does. I know he was a number 1 overall pick and was supposed to be, this game-changing pass rusher, but honestly, he fits best as a compliment. That's what he is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Remember, he was getting 9 sacks next to J.J. Twat. He was getting 9 sacks next to Myles Garrett. He's had success. Like, he can be a decent pass rusher. And, he could be the complement to, a Josh Allen or a Trayvon Walker. And, put him in the role that allegedly, which I pray to God this ends up not being the case, that role we're going to have Jadeveon Chase on for, which makes no goddamn sense. God, if signing him means we get rid of that sack of shit, I'm all for it. God just thinking about what could have been. Can you guys just imagine how much better that Galen trade could have been? I mean, you all know, I've said this a million times in the past. That pick we used on Chase could have been used on Justin Jefferson because I think he went like 2 picks later. And just imagine that trade for Galen. We end up with Travis Etienne, Justin Jefferson, and if Jordan Smith ends up being something, you know how great that trade's gonna look. But of course, we took Jadeveon Chase on. Yeah, Dave Caldwell can take that pick and shove it in the depths of his ass. Great job, buddy. But anyway, this ain't about him. Replacing having Clowney in that role that we're allegedly going to use Chase for is, that number 3 pass rusher. That actually makes sense. You get Josh Allen to get 7 to 10 sacks. You get Trayvon Walker to hopefully get 7 to 10 sacks. Smoot gets 5. Clowney maybe gets 5. Maybe Yasir Abdullah or Jordan Smith, whichever one of them really steps into a role. One of them gets one or both of them gets 5. And then, you have the linebacker blitzes, safety blitzes, the nickel blitzes, all that in between. That actually sounds like it would improve our pass rush, because I will give Trent Baalke the credit that he is now finally starting to recognize that we do need some help at pass rusher. I mean, Arden Key's obviously not a big loss. Dawuane Smoot, bringing him back was a great re-signing. He was he was gonna end up leading the team in sacks before he got injured. So bringing him back was a good thing. You know, I don't know if Jadeveon Clowney necessarily solves that. I mean, at one point, Yannick Ngakoue, Justin Houston. You know, there's a time we could have traded for Daniel Hunter, and still it's a possibility because just because Daniel Hunter signed a 1-year deal, don't let that fool you. That's basically so his ass could get back to work. I'm sure there's incentives in that contract in ways it's going to protect the Vikings if they possibly trade him before the deadline. That way they don't get completely fucked with their money. So don't let that fool you. It still could be a possibility. 1-year deals ain't the end of the world. That was just to get his ass in camp. Let's be real. But like I said, Peterson said the visit went well. Maybe he signs, maybe he doesn't. But, I'm not going to love that signing, but I'm not going to hate it. Like, I think ultimately at its fullest potential, it could be a very good thing. But, hopefully we don't give this guy a lot of money. Because what did Trashville give him, like $15 million? Yeah, that worked out. So as long as we're not paying him a shit ton of money, and even though we do have the cap this year to do this, it probably would end up being I think it's potentially worth the risk. I'd say like maybe $5 to $8 million is fair. I mean, Arden Key's sorry ass got 7, so we'll see. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys want Clowney? Do you not want him? Are you somewhere in between? Do you have questions about it? Let me know down in the comments. But that's it. That's all, people. This has been your boy Jagging Off. Go Jags. Duval till I die. And I'm gone.